Hey, what's up, people? Well, this is a vlog that's been a long time in the making. I got the idea for this a long time ago to do a face moisturizing video. Why, you may ask? Damn good question. But anyway, I got this idea, and I sort of obsess over things sometimes. Usually it's clothes. Like when I buy a polo shirt, I have to buy like 15 polo shirts. But in this case, when I got the idea to do facial lotion products, I wind up, first was going to be like 2 or 3, and then it just turned into this. So much so that this is going to be a 3 vlog segment, because I can't talk about all this in enough time to keep your attention. The other problem is that I may be running out of battery life. So we're going to keep going with this until the battery dies, and then I'm going to cry. So if this looks different, it's because I shot it on my camera, on my phone, because I had to stop using my camera, and I apologize. But while we can, let's keep going. So, like I said, this started out as just a few, and the point of this was because my favorite facial lotion is Clinique. I should also add, I'm not going to talk too much about facial cleansers, because actually in my book, and this is just my book and I am not a professional, by the way, none of this is sponsored. But that's not saying it can't be. Anybody here, I'll talk you up like a Mickey Thicky. But since I ain't, if I get the names wrong or pronounce them wrong, well, I don't care because I'm not getting paid. Anyway, so as I was saying, this started out with Clinique. As Mandy would tell you, I am sort of a diva when it comes to my facial skin products. Mainly because my face is very sensitive and it breaks out a lot. My face breaks out so much, my face breaks out with the changing of every season. Or if the weather changes too quickly, my face breaks out. Let alone certain products make my face break out like crazy. So once I started using Clinique, I loved it. And I find that even though they make a men's line, the men's line really isn't much different than the regular line. It's just geared towards making men buy it. It's the same shit, y'all. But they do make some of their men's line. I believe it has like a PSFS or PSF something to it that you find like a lot of things for sun care products. That stuff makes me break out. So a lot of that strong stuff that they even make for the men's line makes me break out. So I just use the regular Clinique line, and it works great, but it is not the cheapest stuff in the world, and that's one of my problems. So, but in the future, I'm going to need to save a lot of money, so I wanted to find something out there that was as good as the Clinique brand, but not as expensive. So I ended up spending a lot more money than I ever should have or would have. So, but anyway, so we're going to start with the Clinique, because this I like a lot. I mean, this has been my go-to for years. This is just my traveling one, and this is my regular one. You can see it's damn near empty. And I'm not going to get into a whole lot of detail because I'm not a professional. All I can say is this leaves my skin nice and smooth. It doesn't break me out. I don't get a lot of pimples. It's great, but I wanted something cheaper. Henceforth, the rest of this. Next we're going to talk about some of the things I don't like. And they're going to keep it really simple with those. This Nivea, it goes on really thick, and I don't like that. I don't like the really thick, heavy creams. It's got a nice smell to it. Actually, that's pretty much the only complaint I have, is that it goes on really thick. I like this because it's a nice traveling thing. So I do have 1 or 2 of these for when I travel if I need something and I don't need something small. but I really don't like how heavy this goes on. It just goes on way too heavy. So I'm not a big fan. Next, we have this from Sephora. This was by a not so happy accident. I was getting some stuff for Janessa, and I came across this Sephora. It's for like face and body cream, and it made me break out like crazy. So, hey, if it works for you, that's fine. It's a little oily for my taste. I didn't mind it on my body. Oh, and you can use it on your hair too. I didn't mind it on my body. I didn't mind it on my hair. In fact, it kind of reminded me of this stuff I use called Africa's Best that's really good in my hair. I still like that better than this, but this isn't a hair video. So it made me break out, period. In fact, I couldn't even put it in my hair, because when I put it in my hair, I was still breaking out. The only time I didn't break out was on my body. So I will not be using this anymore because of that reason. So if you have really sensitive skin like I do, you might want to think twice about this. If you don't, then it feels nice on the body. It's okay in the hair. Bada bing, bada boom. Next, we are going to cover this. Now we're kind of getting into the medium of the way, kind of didn't. So we'll start off with this. What is this? The Aveeno. I believe that's how you say that. We'll start with this. This goes on pretty thick too. Not very thick. It's not as thick as the Nivea stuff, but it does go on fairly thick. And for that reason, I'm not crazy about it, but it does do the job. Don't hate it, don't love it. Next, we have this stuff. Now, this is where the name comes in really hard. The Sesmoni. I came across this because one of my favorite YouTubers was promoting this, and I was like, oh, she likes it. Oh, I gotta try it. And I tried it, and it's okay. It goes on smooth, almost too light to go on. It really didn't do much for me. The wash or the face, I'm not saying I hated it. It's geared towards younger people, and I don't know, maybe that's a reason why it didn't do well for me. It was just average, and I felt like I had to use it a few times in the course of the day. And that's not necessarily out of the ordinary, but there's other things like Clinique. I use that once a day, and I usually never have to use it again. But this stuff, I had to use it more than once. The cleanser was okay, but like I said, cleansers are cleansers to me. I kept this as something else to travel with, because I got these little tiny small sizes. Another thing, this was hard to find. This was really hard to find. Target sold them online, but I couldn't find it in a Target store, and I looked like at 3 or 4 stores, and I could not find it there. I wound up buying these on eBay. Even Amazon only had the cleanser, I believe. So it's also hard to find. So I'm not going to get in the habit of something that's not easy to get a hold of. And like I said, it just didn't do quite enough for me. In fact, I meant to give these to Janessa so she can try and see if she likes them. So it doesn't get a big vote from me. Next, we are going to go with the Neutrogena. There's 2 different Neutrogenas, but I'm going to cover them close to the same time. This one, the oil-free moisturizer. This again was one of those things I had to use at least a few times in the course of the day. I do like it does go on light and smooth, and I did like that, but maybe too light. Plus, it's a weird thing, so I won't swear to this, but when first time I used it, it was okay. Then once I was done with all this stuff, I went back to using this, and when I went back to using this, I broke out. Now, I don't know if that's because of using so many different products, even though I usually gave it a few days in between each product. But for whatever reasons, when I started using this again, I started breaking out, and I was like, well, that's a no. So I'm hanging on to this because I might want to see again if that happens. Plus, I don't believe in throwing anything away because I'm too cheap. But yeah, it did make me break out the second time around. Same for this. Now, I was sort of disappointed in the, what do they call this? The Hydro Boost Gel. I was a little disappointed in this because for some reason I thought this jar was really neat and I was really looking forward to getting this. And then when I got it, it's all neat. It's all blue inside. It has a wet feel to it, which is, well, I guess, the hydro, which is really kind of weird to me. And once again, I like the other stuff. I had to use it a few times in the course of a day. It's a funky feel, but not necessarily a bad feel to it. But then it, first time around, it was okay. And then once again, like the other stuff, I broke out. Now, I don't understand. But once I started breaking out and I had to use it a few times a day, it was like, okay, pasta. So, once again, it may not be the case with someone whose face is very sensitive. It is an interesting feel to it. I still love the jar, but it's a no for me. I won't be buying this again. Now, we get into some other things, some other things. This was a late entry, the Burt's Bees. Mandy uses the cleansers, a lot. She swears by these cleansers. She really likes them. Oh, look, we snuck in a endorsement from Mandy. Although she too is no sponsored by this, but I'm sure she'd be happy to take anybody's money. After all, she's taken plenty of mine. Okay, anyway, so every now and then when I was looking for lotions, and I would look to see, I'm like, oh, she likes this stuff, but I never found a lotion. And then one time I was in Target and I found this lotion, so I bought it. It was like $12. I did not include the prices for any of this other stuff. Let me throw that in here. The Hydro Boost went for about $20, and that is especially one of my problems, is that this was about $20. That virtually defeats the point of getting something better than the Clinique, because it's not as much as the Clinique inside it, and it's $20. The oil, the Neutrogena oil moisturizer, this was about $13, which isn't a bad price. And if it was a better product to use for the price, that's what I was looking for, that would be okay. The Vino was about $13. So the price was right. If just, the thickness is the problem. These little doodads go for about like 99 cents, which is cute and they're great to travel with, but, the Sephora, this I believe was about $15, $16 on sale. It's definitely not worth my time though. The Sasmoni, these little doodads, I think together ran me about $16 on eBay, and I forget what they were on Target. I want to say something like close to $20, like 15 each, I should say, for bigger bottles, not for these, like the 4 ounce, whatever. And like I said, So the Burt's Bees, this was I believe this was about $12. And so I was like, oh, finally, I found it. I will try it. I tell you, I don't say Mandy's right about a lot of things, but I will say the cleanser is, they have a lot of different cleansers. The only one I've tried this is a deep pore scrub. So, scrubs and stuff like that are always a little extra than your regular cleansers, because they leave your face all nice and smooth like an exfoliator. So that's good. But this lotion, this stuff, I tell you, for $12, this goes on nice and smooth, and it's a great compliment to this. And it's not a whole lot in here for $12, but this I would buy again. This is on my top list of ones that I would buy again. But I gotta tell you, it wasn't easy to find. So I don't know if I want to go through all that trouble every time I want to. And we're back, and as predicted, the camera died. The sad thing is, I had a backup battery, and I got really excited for a second. I was like, ooh, backup battery. And as it turned out, no, that the backup battery was dead too, because it's been a while. So, anyway, so here we're talking about this stuff, the Lubriderm. Now, this stuff was quite a surprise. It really, really was. But it was only $6.99 for all this, and I was like, I had to try it, and it was great. I tell you, for the guy, I mean, you know, I'm this crazy diva, and I don't care, because my facial cleansing stuff is very important to me. But some guys are just like, look, I just need some lotion on my face. Shit. I mean, I know people who just put cocoa butter on their face and they're good to go. Some people's faces are capable. If I put cocoa butter on my face, I'm going to be like a sweaty, broken out mess. So, but for the guy's guy who's just looking for some stuff to put on his face and go, and doesn't want to use fancy, freaky names and stuff that's usually associated with women, because your egos can't handle that, this is the way to go. This is definitely the way to go. And I tell you, when the chips are down and I'm penny pension, because this does the trick. And not only is it a facial lotion, it is also a aftershave, after you shave lotion. It's good for that. It's for the body. So especially if you're in a hurry, this might be my weekend morning routine for that matter. If I can mix this and another product without my face freaking out, this would easily be my Saturday and Sunday morning routine when I got to get up at 5:30 to go to work, because I could just whoosh, yeah, whoosh, done. Like I said, it feels good. I didn't have to use it over and over again. It's not too thick. It's not too light. $5.99. In fact, this was such a great price, and I like this so much that I went out and bought the fragrance kind. This is fragrance free, no smell. It's another great thing. This has a light fragrance. I gotta tell you though, the one thing I'd say bad, the light fragrance is so light you barely notice. And definitely not after you used it. The smell has gone away. It's not a bad scent. It's hard to describe what it is, but just a light scent. Not necessarily overly manly, and definitely not feminine. It's just a scent. But it's not very strong. So I probably wouldn't bother to get the, same price, I believe. I probably wouldn't bother to get the fragrance again because it's just not worth it. But I was just curious, and once again, for $5.99 or $6.99, how could I not? Now, one only other thing I could say is that I haven't looked too heavily, but I don't recall ever seeing this in any store. I bought these off of Amazon. So if you see them in a store, I'd say get them. If you see them on Amazon, I say get it. Like I said, especially if you're just like a guy doesn't want to be bothered with other stuff, and you won't have to worry about feeling feminine with any of this crap. This is the go-to. No sponsored, but I gotta tell you, for the price, for the bang for your buck, for a guy with sensitive skin, this is actually the real deal. That's it for this. The rest of these products I will add in other videos. Let me end this segment by saying that out of all the products, even the ones I'll be talking about later, this to me was my happy go-to surprise. Since the point of this was to save money, to me this was the way to go. Out of all the other products that I've researched today, to me, even better feel for your face, that would be my second choice. Now, I don't know with the lighting how well you're going to be able to see these, so maybe I think the lighting might be too much for this. Back it up, maybe? I'm not sure. So the Burt's Bees would be my number one out of all these that you've picked. There's some others that will be in other segments that I will mention that I liked even more. But out of everything I've showed you, everything else was mainly a lot of stuff I wasn't crazy about. that did not beat the Clinique lotion. Clinique is still, to me, my number one, with the exception of some things I'll talk about in another segment. So, but out of these, the Burt's Bees for $12, but imagine, that's $12. That's $6. If I'm on a budget, that. If I can splurge a little extra money, do some overtime. But logic would say, most definitely. So, I want to thank you for watching this. I hope you watch the others. Hopefully I can put them out within a reasonable amount of time. And all in all, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, click, and subscribe. I need some scribbles. I need the subscribers. It's the button right there. Just, you don't even have to tune back in. Actually, I would like you to tune back in. I'm lying. But subscribe. Like. Ding. A like goes a long way. You wouldn't believe how much of a like goes a long way. Just to hit that little button and go, you know what? I like that. Even if you didn't like it and you like me, you didn't even have to like me or the segment. Just hit the like button. Just why not? What else you got to do? It has nothing to do with your character. Just hit the like button, just so I can stop asking you. All right. Peace.